Hey, what's up, fellas? Marco here, and today we're going to be talking about the Vicious Ant Goliath RDA. Now, it's been forever since I put out a video, and I really have to apologize. I've been swamped with work. It's been eating me alive, and well, now I'm finally getting around to shooting all the stuff that I had backlogged. So you're going to excuse me again for releasing a chain of videos wearing the exact same shirt. Well, anyway, this is the Vicious Ant Goliath RDA. It's a 30mm rebuildable dripping atomizer designed for hardcore fucking octacoil users. Alright, but I have it on a quad, okay, because I'm not that hardcore. I can't build that many coils consistently, and I can't take hits on something that hot. So this is on a quad coil setup. I'm gonna give it a few pulls, talk about it a little bit, you know, the usual shit that I do. And here goes. Alright, nice thick plumes out of it. My battery's, spent a bit, maybe about 75% of what it normally can chuck. So, anyway, this is what the inside looks like, alright? Pretty big, obviously, living up to its name. But the way that the poles are oriented, so you're going to notice it's got that cross-shaped pattern, but the leads go in, and if you get some zoom in on that, the leads go in on either side. So one lead goes into the bottom terminal, and another lead goes into the top. So you have a total of 8, because you're going to notice they're separated, like separate blocks, although they are on like one part or one side each. So one lead goes under, one lead goes on top, and you go around and make a nice, cute little octacoil, or in this case, a quad. So this is what it looks like. Alright, I'm not going to be building it in this video. I might make a separate video on how to rebuild the Goliath, because it's going to take too much time and I don't want to do that. When you purchase the Goliath, it comes with a set of O-rings, the usual spare parts that Vicious Ant includes, but it also comes with another set of screws, so you're going to get it with 8 extra screws that are slightly longer. Alright, the reason for that is that was included for people who use thinner gauge wires. So for those of you 28 or 30 gauge users, if there are even still any, they included that as a nice little add-on. So, you know, that way the longer screws make it easier for you to tighten it down and keep that nice snug fit when you have thinner gauge wire installed. Makes it easier for you to build using that kind of shit. The way I wick it and the way I built it, obviously it's a quad coil with vertical coils. Alright, I haven't tried to see if you can build it with the coils lying horizontally. Haven't really experimented much with the builds, because the vertical setup works amazingly with this. In fact, I'm inclined to believe that it was designed for verticoil users. The top cap itself it's pretty heavy. See, it's pretty bulky and pretty heavy, and it's got the air holes on the side, so it has a total of 8 for adequate ventilation if you decide to go octacoil, and they're like vertical Cyclops air holes, if you will. Cyclops after, you know, the X-Men dude with the visor and shit. The Vicious Ant logo, the version I have, it's made of Blacktail Rin. It comes also in a brass variant. I'm not sure if it also has a stainless steel one, but the ones I've seen are the brass one and the Blacktail Rin. So this one's a Blacktail Rin. It looks nice and sweet on my on the variant, which I normally use it on if I have all the batteries charged. It's got these heatsink fins, cooling fins, to make sure that it doesn't heat up, because you're going to notice the drip tip is like sort of built into it. It comes off, yeah, sure, it does come off. It's fastened down by a nice fat O-ring, but you can't use standard 510 drip tips on it, so it's not really designed for that. Okay, you're going to want to use this anyway, because you're going to need a nice wide tip to take your deep inhales, your lung hits on it. It also comes with this little black piece of Delrin, which can either go on the top like that, so you narrow down the hole through which you're taking a pull, or you can pop it in here. Either way, it serves the same purpose, which is to reduce the heating that you're getting. I find it looks cooler for me when I have it sitting on top, like a little top hat for this thing. Alright, there. So that's pretty much what it looks like. Okay. The nice thing about it, and I'm surprised about this in almost all of Vicious Ant's new RDAs, is that even when I build it on multiple coils, the heating is barely there. I mean, you're getting a nice warm vape in your mouth, but you're not burning your lips. Considering the whole thing is made of stainless steel, the heat sink fins really do their job really well, even without the Delrin piece that I put there. So I'm going to soak it up a bit, take a couple more hits, and you know, we've talked about the vapor output. I want to talk a little bit more about the flavor output. So I'm using some Java Juice Magnum. It's like a cool chocolate liquid. So I have this in 7030 VG dominant. So this is really what I use for cloud chase videos and shit. Works amazingly well. So there, when you're putting it on, you're going to want to orient the coils in the middle or in between the slits. You're going to want it as centered as possible, and then give it a nice twist so it sits nice and snug. If you're wondering why it's not sitting flush on my Phenom 26650, it's because I'm not using the flat 30mm cap on it. I'm using the one that was designed for 22mm RDAs. Alrighty. So flavor-wise, this is probably the most surprising aspect of the atomizer, is that the flavor output on it is pretty solid for something that was designed obviously for cloud chasing. I mean, most of the time you're going to have to sacrifice one for the other. You know, if you want to get massive clouds, you're going to have to forego some of that flavor that you're used to. You know, your favorite juices don't quite taste right on most cloud chase RDAs, but surprisingly that isn't the case with this particular one. I was thoroughly impressed by that, because I prefer to just take one set out when I go out. Like, let's say when I go to work, I don't want to have like a shit ton of vapes in my bag. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, seriously, you're on your way to work and you're going to have like a shitload of stuff in your bag. That's not something you want to do. So pretty much I'm able to take just this, and maybe usually I bring the variant because I want everything regulated and shit. So that's pretty much how I roll when it comes to it. And the vapor output is pretty, it's fucking wild, but the flavor retention on it is very, very commendable, and I really have to hand it to them, because it doesn't heat up, the flavor is right there. Whether it's due to the fact that I got 4 coils and a shit ton of cotton in it, or if it's due to the fact that it was really designed that well, it's probably a bit of both, you know? I mean, Vicious Ant, one thing I notice about them is they are painstakingly meticulous when it comes to detail. I mean, you're not going to get atomizers with shitty screws and terminals that don't lock down and shit like that. I mean, it's always been solid every time I get shit from them. Every time they send me something over, I'm pretty much 100% sure that it's going to be something really solid that went through a shitload of quality control. Awesome stuff. So really had to hand it to them there. Overall, the RDA, it's I'd say it's something that every cloud chaser is going to need. I mean, it's not something that you're just going to get just for the hell of it. It's something that you're going to want in your arsenal. I mean, if you're part of a cloud crew, if you represent your cloud crew in cloud comps and shit like that, if you join stuff like that, this is something that you absolutely must have. It is a must-have cloud chase RDA. Flavor-wise, it's not going to put you to shame, and definitely you're going to bring it. You're going to have your A game on if you take it to a cloud comp, definitely. Even if you're not all that good at building, honestly. I mean, I couldn't build for shit, seriously. Dual coils are a pain in the ass for me, quad coils even more so. But, you know, I got some pretty decent output on this. And although I haven't really tried taking it to a competition, I post some videos up on Fog Nation and shit. Does pretty well. And the only con to it for me is the looseness of the draw. Newbie vapors might have a hard time vaping it, but that's just, you know, you're going to get to that point eventually where you're going to want to chase clouds. So you're going to want to have this with you, well, pretty much all the fucking time, right? So I really can't find anything all that glaringly negative to say about it. I have yet to try it on an octacoil. That I have to try. But quad coils are pretty hot for me, and I don't think I'd be able to vape it properly if I built a quad on it. I'd probably have to thin down my internal diameter or something like that. But oh, who knows? You know, you guys. You know, I'm gonna plug it right here. A bunch of my buddies over in Fog Nation have picked up the Goliath, and either they already have it or they're waiting for it to arrive. So Tulok and Tech One, Lucas and Tommy, David Vargas, if you're watching, if you guys do get your hands on this, please do post a video. I'm going to be looking forward to that and see what you guys can do with it, because if I can get clouds out of it, I am sure as shit that you guys can absolutely do it. So, you know, guys, if you're watching, I'm calling you out right here, all right, on the video itself. So, pretty awesome stuff. Looking forward to seeing like a lot of cloud chase videos with a device like this. That's pretty much Well, that's pretty much the Goliath for you. I really have nothing else to say. I mean, you guys have seen how it can chuck it, and I'm not even trying all that hard. If I had this on like a dual bat box mod or something, or if I had stacked batteries and shit, probably be producing a shit ton of vapor, right? So that's about it for Goliath. RDA pricing, all the other pertinent jazz, it's going to be in the video description. Leave a comment, subscribe, whatever. Negative or positive, if you want to hate on the shirt I'm wearing, if you're not a fan of South Park or whatever, feel free to leave your comments. I read them. I'm not able to reply all that often, but please do chat me up or something. I'm chattier than you guys think. Well, anyway, I'll catch you all soon, all right? So y'all vape hard. Cheers.